Afternoon, y'all. Here we are back underneath the shade tree, well, the overcast tree, because it's just cloudy out today and kind of cool. Got to do a little vehicle maintenance. Got a trip up to Tulsa tomorrow morning, so no sense putting off an oil change that needs to be done. Figure might as well go ahead and do it beforehand rather than after I get back. The old psychotic nerve's feeling a lot better today. Actually, that's about the only thing that's bothering me at this point is my lower back is fine. It's just pushed on the psychotic nerve a little bit, and you know, a whole lot less vitamin M than I've been taking earlier this week. So it's not gonna bother me a whole lot to go ahead and crawl underneath the Jeep and get this done real quick. Back in a minute. Well, Greenie the Wonder Jeep goes ahead and warms up. I've got my customized ramps in place. I inherited these things, one more time in English. I inherited these ramps from my dad back when he passed. And I went ahead and added on the expanded metal here, which really helps the traction when I'm ahead and driving up these things. They don't go ahead and slip and slide out from underneath the tires anywhere near as much. Just a cheap little mod, but heck, it works great. And I already had the expanded metal left over from another project, so why not? What are you doing, helper dog? You're mocking me. You're mocking me. It's quite the stick you've got there. Is that your stick? Huh? Is that your stick? You gonna bring it over to me or what? Hey, Goob. Where's your stick? Where's the stick, buddy? Where's that stick? Yeah, get that stick. Well, go get it. Where is it? You gonna bring me the stick? There you go. Good boy. Bring me that tree limb. You can bring me half the tree if you thought you could get away with it. Alright, so here we are, roadkill's eye view. Let's go ahead and get oil change started since I shut the motor off. The cooling fan just kicked on up above my head here, so that means that the motor's nicely warmed up and the oil should go ahead and drain out real nice. So being a free-range armadillo in the middle of the highway in Oklahoma, this is pretty much about the last thing you see. Probably that differential, maybe a cross member, maybe the rear differential. That's about it. Hey, all right, it does work with my orange mechanic gloves here. So true story, speaking of armadillos, back in the day when I first got Ethel on the road, this is way back when she still had the original straight axle in the front, that little 350. I'm driving her to work one night, going up Highway 77, and this frickin' armadillo is out in the middle of the road in front of me. I run over him, and of course, you know, being a nice guy, I try and straddle him. I'm not trying to go ahead and kill him, but I go ahead and I hit that doggone thing, and I swear, I thought that was my oil pan. If you've ever hit an armadillo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That thing, as I tried to go ahead and graze over top of it, he jumped up, and I guess he caught the bottom side of the straight axle on that old truck and ricocheted up onto the bottom side of it. But I thought for sure he'd wiped out my oil pan. And it probably looked a lot like this. Anyway, that's my armadillo, well, that's one of my armadillo stories. Another armadillo story, since we're sitting here watching oil drain. I was working up in Noble, Oklahoma one night, out driving around, patrolling around, and we had problems with the softball field getting broke into and people stealing equipment and whatnot. So I'm driving around one rainy night, patrolling down there by the softball field. I come turn around and start heading back up the road. I'm driving real slow because it's hard to see, it's dark and it's rainy. And I get to this spot going up this hill, and all of a sudden the car won't accelerate. It just sat there spinning the tire. And you know, old Crown Vic, it's spinning one tire on the wet asphalt, not going anywhere, and I'm trying to figure out why. So I stop, put the car in park, get out, walk around over the passenger side. I've got an armadillo that's walked in front of the right rear tire and is now chalked the car in place. So the one tire won't go anywhere, and the other tire just sits there and spins on the wet asphalt. I had to back up so the armadillo could get away. Welcome to Oklahoma. All right, we're down to just a little bit of a trickle now. One more true armadillo story. My first exposure to an armadillo was while I was at A school in Meridian, Mississippi, way back when, in the summer of 1980 some odd something or other. And I can tell this story because statute of limitations is up now, and the hopefully I won't go ahead and get into too much trouble with the people eating tasty animals group. But me and my roommate had been to the club that night, go figure. Doggone Marines and alcohol, and you know, just about everything becomes a toy after that. Well, we're coming back from the club, and he dropped his girlfriend off at her barracks, and we're headed on home. And you know, it's springtime, summertime, sort of, kind of, but it's cool out because, you know, it's a Mississippi summer night. I had a denim jacket on, and this was the first time I'd ever seen an armadillo in real life. Yeah, I'm from Arizona. We've got rattlesnakes, we've got, you know, horny toads and Gila monsters and things like that, but I'd never seen an armadillo up close in person. And so I figured, well, hey, this is a plaything. So my roommate and I went to chasing this thing around out in the yard. And finally, we went ahead and caught this thing up in my jacket. And we took it back to the barracks and turned it loose inside the barracks. And for those that aren't quite familiar with barracks life, well, you know, we had this thing called Fire Watch. And when you got your name drawn and put on the list, you got to go ahead and walk a tour in the barracks at night. You know, no smoke detectors, nothing like that. But if anything was amiss in the barracks, you were supposed to go ahead and sound the alarm. Well, we turned this armadillo loose in the barracks. And this poor kid from I don't know where, some city kid, he had no idea what he was in for, but he saw this armadillo scurrying up and down the hall. He didn't know what to do. And all my roommate and I could do was just go back in our room and chuckle away and laugh. We thought it was just the most hysterical thing ever. You know, of course, we did have a couple of adult sodas before that. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap that part of it up because it looks like we're done draining oil at this point. Time to put the plug back in, pull the filter off, put some fresh in, call it good. You know, I was never really up on this whole glove thing. There we go, come on off over there. That's it. So I never really got into this whole glove thing. I've been wrenching on stuff since I was in my teens, back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I never gave it much thought. But as I get older, you know, my skin starts to dry up a little bit easier, trying to go ahead and clean all this grease and stuff off my hands. And well, shoot, I'll give credit where credit's due. Wheeler Dealers, his mechanic, not Ant, but the other guy that was on there before, Ed, always had gloves on of some sort. And I kind of got used to the idea, and I actually like these things. They really work out well. Go ahead and save on cleaning the fella's hands up a whole lot easier. Yep, there we go. That's slick. Come on. Okay, fish that up and out. Alrighty, so that one's out. And yeah, see, all that would be embedded in my hands. And according to the state of California, IA, this stuff's not good for you. You know, like everything else in California, none of it's good for you. And they actually had to pass a law to go ahead and put a label on everything. But common sense says that recycled dinosaur guts probably isn't the best thing to go ahead and have in your system. Anyhow, you know, when I'm done with, right now, I go ahead and I just wipe this off with an old rag. And I keep reusing this glove until I'm done. And then I go ahead and just peel the glove off and throw it away. And that works a whole lot easier. And washing my hands doesn't take but a few minutes after that. All right, put some fresh dinosaur juice back in here. Oh, easy crazy, easy, easy. You're pouring fast drink and run back out. Anyway, get some fresh dino juice back in here. And new filter's already on in place, so we're good to go there. You know, little side note, I love these Jeep engines. These things just run and run and run and run and run. And yeah, okay, fine, it's a little 4-liter, it's not a powerhouse, but I don't need it to go fast, I just need it to go. So anyway, you know, you go ahead, you take care of these things like this right here. Keep fresh dinosaur juice in it, keep a fresh filter on it, and they'll run pretty near forever. So I've had several have gone better part of 300,000 miles with nothing more than just basic maintenance. Nothing wrong with that at all. Redneck trick when you're working solo, going ahead and trying to go ahead and pour your recycled dinosaur juice back in the jug. Put your little stick down in there to go ahead and keep the funnel out away from the edge of the jug, so that way the air can escape while you're pouring it, because you know you're doing this single-handed and all. So real simple like. Got my pan right here, and I can pour it right like that back into the jug. Of course, it doesn't help that this thing's already pretty well empty, but you get the point. It goes ahead and starts filling up. Instead of trying to go ahead and blow that bubble out and burp, it can just go ahead and escape right past that little twig right there. When you're done, you throw the twig away. Really? All right, so I noticed this here today when I went to go ahead and move the green weenie machine. That right there is motor oil. Not transmission fluids, motor oil. And being as how it is where it is, that tells me that I've got a rear main seal starting to leak on the green machine. But again, it's simple basic maintenance, and you know, you drop the pan, go ahead and drop the rear main cap, slide in a new seal, put it all back together again, life will be good. So that's going to be in the future. As far as cleaning that mess up goes, believe it or not, hand cleaner. Back after the May 3rd, 1999 tornado came through more, there was all sorts of cleaning supplies and stuff left over. Years later, people are giving stuff away, work gloves and whatnot. And a good friend of mine gave me a big industrial size half-gallon bag of lanolin type hand cleaner. Well, you get a stain on the concrete like this, you go ahead, you spread that stuff out with a push broom, let it set for a minute, and then come after it with a garden hose. It was like it was never there. It looked like that when you were done. So obviously I haven't got to this stain yet, but clearly I will. So I might do that before winter actually gets here. Anyhow, there's another redneck tip for you. All right, so that's it for underneath the shade tree or the overcast tree or whatever we got going on today. My work here is done. The Jeep's all nice and cleaned up now. I even went ahead and did a little bit of battery terminal maintenance there. Baking soda and water doing its thing. So all that green turquoise nastiness going on right there. But baking soda is going to go ahead and take care of that for me. I know a lot of folks use Coca-Cola. I don't want sticky and ants and everything else. Derek, you know who you are. No, your ants weren't because of Coca-Cola. There was no battery underneath that hood. It's back behind your seat. Anyway, you all have a wonderful evening, and hopefully we'll get to more ethyl video later this week, next week. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all have a good one. All right, for all y'all that went ahead and stuck around to the end of this thing, figuring you're going to go ahead and get to see an oil dump hunk of man meat like me, well, here's the deal. The gloves work. Never went ahead and ran this under Dawn dish soap or anything else. Heck, look at my nails. They're all nice and clean. Gloves worked. Okay, gloves worked out great. Even the red hair on the back of my hand is still red. So there's that. You know? What can I say? It all worked out exactly like it's supposed to. Y'all have a wonderful evening. We'll see you.